Hello everyone, welcome to this lesson where we are going to look at database table, and particularly we are going to concentrate on field properties. So when you are looking at field properties, or when we are talking about field properties, we are looking at the characteristics defining the kind of data to be entered into a particular field. For example, we have here some of the common field properties that we are going to look at and how to set them. One, we are going to look at how to set the field size. In this case, you are specifying the maximum number of characters to be allowed in a field. For example, if you want a field to contain characters not more than maybe 10 letters, so there we use the field size. Then we're also going to look at how to format some fields. In this case, we shall be specifying the way the field appears by default when displayed or printed. For example, you may have that field for maybe salary, and you don't want it to have any currency symbol, or you may want it to have some currency symbol, for example UGX. So for that case you must format. Or maybe you are talking about date of birth and you want it to appear such that it's beginning with the year followed by a month and maybe the day ends. So for that case, you must go to the field properties and do the formatting. Then we also have decimal places in case you want to specify the number of decimal points to use. For example, when you are dealing with the number, currency, etc. So we are having many, and we are going to look at all and how to set them. And here we are going to use this example to come up with this or to summarize the field properties. Our example, this is working example number 2, using database or suitable database management software, create a database and name it employee database. So let me begin with this. So we are going to create our database and we shall name it employee database. So I will right click new database, new Microsoft Access database, where then you give it a name, and the name is supposed to be employee database. So by doing this, I've already created a database. I can open it. Then after that, we are having this. And it is what we are going to deal with. So here, create a table and name it employee table. So we are going to create a table in that database called employee database, and we are going to call our table employee table. So after creating that table, it's what will help us to now work with the various field properties. So let me create a table, and that table, for us to create a table in database, we said you simply need to come and click on create, and I'm going to use table design. So after the table design has been loaded, you can go ahead and add the field names, data types, and if you have that time, you can describe them, and you can even see here it's optional. So our fields, we have them here: employee name, ID, number, date of birth, sex, station, contact, and salary. So let us enter the field, those field names, beginning with the first one, and the first one was a employee name, then the second one, ID number. Now ID number had a dot there, so if I put that dot and I try to go to the next field name, Access does not allow. It will give me value, the error message. The field name you entered does not allow Microsoft Access object naming rules. If you pasted the name from another application, try pressing escape. So this is where now the field properties are going to come. So we are going to see how to make this ID number appear with that dot. So for this case, if you have a dot anywhere, you don't type it in your field name. You just leave it out. Then we shall see where to include it with a dot. And we have date. We have date of birth. Then we have sex. We also have in station. We also have contact. We also have salary. So let me first save this table and we come and do whatever we need in need. So to save the table, I will right click on the table name, which is table 1, save, and you give it a name. It is supposed to be called employee table. So now, remember, with the table, the moment you save it without giving a primary key, it is going to ask you. Although a primary key isn't required, it is highly recommended the table must have a primary key. For you to define a relationship between this table and other tables in the database, do you want to create a primary key? I'm going to add it later. Let me just say no. The moment I say yes, it's going to add me another field there called ID, and it will set it to be the primary key. So for now, I'm going to say no because I'm coming to all that. So we have already saved our table and we are having it there. So said we are going to base on this. Use appropriate data types for each field and use auto number for ID number. So it means we are going to make our ID number auto generated and it must follow this format here. So that's now when the field properties come in. Set a primary key to the appropriate field. I'm going to begin by doing that, setting a primary key. So when you look at all the fields I have here, employee name, ID number, up to salary, it is ID number qualifying to be a primary key for this case. So I will come and right click on ID number, then you hit on primary key, or you can simply just click on ID number and you will be able to see a primary key around here and you click on it. So that's our primary key. I have set it. Then the other one was ensure that employee name does not exceed 8 characters. We are coming to that. Date of birth should be in the form this. Add a caption on the contact. We are going to see all those ones. Use input mask to make all your contacts appear as this. Format your salary to have a currency symbol, UGX, or that. Add a calculated field called new salary, where by new salary is 100% of salary. Format the field with this kind of currency symbol. Then set Maliri to be the default value for the station field. Use lookup wizard for sex field. Validate the salary field to accept only figures above, and with the validation text of this amount is invalid. Then use your table to enter or populate the data above. So meaning that all what you are seeing here is summarizing for us field properties. So let us first go through various field properties we are having. For example, the field size. The field size specifies the maximum number of characters you can enter in the field. And right now, the maximum you can go up to 255 characters, but we can customize it. We can make it maybe 5, 2, 3, or whatever you want. And we also have the field property called the format. Now, format will display layout for the field or the predefined format or the way you want your data to appear when it is printed. Then we have the input mask, which defines the pattern for all data to be entered in the field. For example, if I want my telephone number to have a dash in between, then I will be able to set it from the input mask. And then we have what is called a caption. Now, the caption, remember, for example, here I told you, and I'm beginning with that. I'm going to begin with that. Let me first go to the datasheet view of this table. So when I go to the datasheet view of this table, this ID number is supposed to have ID number with a dot on it. But the moment you just come and type that number here, sorry, that dot here, Access cannot allow. So what do I do to make sure that my final table, when I come to the datasheet view, it has a dot there? So for that case, you come to caption. You come to caption. So under caption, the label for the field when used on a view, if you don't enter a caption, the field name is used as a. So right now, our field name is used as a ID number. But if I type anything here under caption, it is what will be displayed in my table view here. So let me try. For example, here we can now see ID number, but if I come and type there student number, and I save this table, then I go to the datasheet view, it is what you will be able to see here. Are you seeing? So whatever you enter under caption is what is appeared on your final table. But in case you don't type anything there, it is the field name to appear in our final table. So therefore, for us to cater for the dot on our ID number, we type it under caption. Because when you just type it under the field name, the dot is not accepted. So you will come and type here ID number with a dot, and it is what is going to appear in our final table. So you can see ID number with a dot. So members, in case you want a dot to appear on your final table, then you go and type it under the caption. I think that one we have got it. So with the caption, it's the label. Whatever you enter under caption is what is appeared on the final table or on your datasheet view. It replaces what is on the field name. Good. We also have another field property is called default, a value that is automatically entered in this field for new items, even without you typing anything there. For example, here I'm going to set station Maliri to be the default value for station, meaning that before even I enter anything here, I will be able to see Maliri. So let me come and set the default value for station. So I will first come and click on station, and then you can come and set that default value as Maliri. When you save the table and you go to datasheet view, you will be able to see Maliri there appearing automatically before even you enter any value. But the good thing with default value, you can remove it from here and type any other things you want. That's the default value. Then the validation rule. What happens here? A validation rule simply refers to an expression that limits the values that can be entered into the field. In case you want to limit the values to be entered in your field, then you use the validation rule. For example, in that field of salary, they are telling us that we validate We validate our salary field to accept only figures above 190. So we shall go under validation rule and we do that. We put there an expression that's going to allow us only enter values which is greater than 190,000, below which will not be accepted. For example, if you enter 100,000 in that field, it will not be accepted. So we are going to try that and see. Now, validation rule moves together with the validation text. Okay, so which is just the error message that appears when you enter a value which is not accepted by the validation rule. So let me first set them and we see. So let us first look at the data types. Employee name, yeah, it will remain short text. ID number, we are setting it as a primary key, and I've told us that ID number must be auto number. So here we shall come and set it as auto number. So we change the data type to auto number, then we can save to see what is happening. So for this case, we are expecting not to enter anything under ID number, but it must come automatically. But what happens? Let us first see. For example, if I enter the first name there, the first person is Olowo. So the moment I just enter here Olowo, you can see this one has come here automatically, but it is just one. And yet here, for us, we are seeing we are having EP001. So how do we make sure it appears like this? So after setting your field be auto number, in case you want it to look the same way it is here, that's now when we shall go to our field properties again. Under field properties, we shall come to format, and we are now going to format it. We are going to make it look the way it is supposed to be. So now ours is having EP everywhere. EP is here, EP is here, EP is here. Then that EP, we are referring to it as a consistent value. So it is not changing. So what do you do for something which is consistent? So what you do, let me zoom this and we see what we are supposed to do under that format there. Let me make it bigger to be seen well. Let me make it bigger to be seen. So what is appearing consistently? You just open quotes, type it, EP, and you close the quotes. So meaning that I'm telling database that I want EP to appear consistently for all what I'm going to have under that field. So EP will appear consistently on every number. And then what is going to be changing? You put outside the quotes. So here we are having 001, 002. When you reach 100, you will no longer have 00 something. You will have 100, meaning that those ones are changing. So what do you do to it? You simply just come and type there the placeholders for them. And here we are going to use a 0 as a placeholder. So how many digits do we have? 001. It means we are having 3 digits. So I'm going to have 3 zeros. So every 0 is a placeholder for a digit. So that's how we make our setting there. So there, if I save this and I go back to datasheet view, you can now see what has happened there. We are now having EP001. So it is going to keep on incrementing automatically. Then the other one, we are looking at date of birth. Remember, date of birth is a date/time. But here, when you look at here, we want it to appear beginning with the date. A separator must be a dash, then M, meaning that, followed by month, separator is dash, then year last. Now, DD means we expect 2 digits under day. For example, if it is first, it must be 01. Then we also expect 2 digits under months. For example, if it is Feb, then it is 002. Then we expect 4 digits under year. For example, 2004, which is 2004. So we are coming here to set that after selecting the data type, which is date, stroke, time. You also now come to field properties and look for where there is format. Let me also zoom that format. So under format, you are going to just tell your computer that I want to begin with the day, which is D. And my separator is a dash followed by month, which is M, because I expect 2 digits under month. Then last one is a year, but the separator still is a dash. Then I expect 4 digits under year, which is Y. So D is for day, then M is for month, and Y is for year. So there we are done with the setting that. Then is sex. Sex we are using, they have used here MY, that is short text. So we shall leave it as short text, but they are telling us that under sex where is it use lookup wizard for sex field. So it means we are supposed to create a list from where we are going to select our values. So after setting your data type to be short text, just click on that arrow. So actually this is an example of a lookup wizard. When you click on this, it displays for your list. So you come and click on lookup wizard, and the lookup wizard box appears. You will come and click on I will type in the values that I want, because you are going to generate your own list. Then click on next, and here now you can enter the list. Here we are having a list containing male, which is M, and F, which is a female. Then if you had more than 2, you keep on adding them there. Then I will come and click on next, and I will limit to what I have entered there. So limit the list, and I finish. So there you have generated a list under sex using a lookup wizard. Then station is also supposed to be station, which is Maliri, is supposed to be short text. But remember, they told us to make sure that we set the default value as Maliri. Default value as Maliri. So here our data type remains short text. When you come to field properties, look for default value, which is Maliri. You type it there. So that is the value that's going to automatically be entered there without you typing it. So meaning that later on, if you want, you can replace it. So but by default, you will find Maliri appearing on that field without typing it. Then contact. Now when you look at contact here, contact is supposed to be short text. Contact is going to be short text. Why? Now you may find sometime it is beginning with a 0. So you may also find there is a dash somewhere. So a dash cannot be a number. That's why we are setting contact to be short text. So we shall come here and leave contact as short text. But there is something they said about it under contact. Let me see. Add a caption on contact. Call it telephone number. Remember, we have just said that a caption here is the label that will appear on your final table. And if you don't enter it, your final table will have what you have under the field name. So if I just want to see this contact here, but I don't want to see it in my final table, then I type what I want to see in my final table under caption. And here we are typing or we are using telephone number. So let me first take you to our final table. Our final table here is having contact, because we have not yet typed anything under caption. But the moment we type something under caption, then it is what we shall be able to see under our contact. So let us do that. So we are typing there telephone number. Telephone number. So when you save your table and go to the final view, you will see now we are having a telephone number. Telephone number. So it's there. Let me change it to capital letters. Telephone number. Telephone number. Save. So you will no longer see contact, but you will see telephone number. Then still under contact, what are we supposed to do? I think we are supposed to apply something there. Still under use input mask to make all your contacts appear as this. So it means here right now when you look at our contacts, it has no formatting. But here we need after the first 4 digits we see a dash, then after the next 3 set of digits we also see a dash. That we don't want to do that manually. We want it to appear automatically. So therefore, for that case, you will come and set the input mask. So let me set it. So under that, we come and click on input mask. Then you come and click on this 3 dots you are seeing here. Then the input mask wizard will be displayed. Under you have the list of what you can work with. Right now I'm working with phone number, and I make sure it is the one selected. Then you come and click on next. Then input mask, that was the format of that telephone number you want to see there. Come and remove what you have there and you specify the format. So I want the first 4 digits, a dash, next 3 digits, a dash, then the last 3 digits. So I want it to appear like that. So means that I want a dash to be seen on my telephone number. After I've done that, placeholder character, I need a dash. This is what I've used there, but you have many here. You may use this, that. So I'm maintaining that underscore there. Then you come and click on next. And here, how do you want to store the data? With the symbols in the mask or without the symbol in the mask? If you want with the symbol in the mask, this is how it is going to appear. After the first 4 digits, a dash, 3 digits, a dash, and 3 digits. Without that symbol being seen, it's going to be like this. So I'm going to click on with the symbol in the mask such that I'll be able to see it. Then I will come and click on next, and I can finish it. So let me go and see the final table. So we shall save it. We come to our datasheet view. Then I try to enter some, you can see the placeholders there. So I will type here 0773, a dash comes automatically, 010, a dash comes automatically, 728, and there you can see I have not entered this dashes here manually. Good. The other one is salary. We are now dealing with the salary. So salary will always be currency. So we shall come and select currency. But today we have said we are setting salary to have a currency symbol UGX or shillings. Now, this is what we call customized currency symbol. It is not in the list. So how do we deal with it? So for that case, you will also come to format here and remove away this currency here, because we are going to use customized currency symbol, and you do the following. So let me first zoom it. So under that, you are just going to type the currency symbol you want to use, but remember you will want that currency symbol to appear consistently. So it means I will open double quotes, type it UGX, and close that double quote. That one means it's appearing consistently. Then in case I wanted to use shillings, I do the same. open double quotes, SHS, close the double quotes. Now, the double quotes I've told you, we use it in case that symbol is going to appear consistently in your database without changing. Then, we are done with that. And then what follows are just the thousand separators or the placeholders. So you will have now hash, comma, hash, hash, hash. That's thousand separator. Then okay. Even if I was using shillings, I do the same. And then we also talked about place values, placed values, the number of digits you want to appear after a dot. So here we need a 0, which I'll change it to 0. We don't leave it auto. Save the changes and say yes. Then let us go back to, now you can see this one has failed. Our first salary here is 515,000. Now when I come here, it is again giving me this currency symbol for dollar. So I go back and reformat design view. Remember, I'm here, it has brought for me currency here, and I said we remove the currency since we are going to use customized one. Then open quotes, type the currency symbol you're going to use, UGX, in quotes, because it's going to appear consistently. Then we have the separators or thousand separators, hash, comma, hash, hash, hash. And when you say okay, save the changes, and you go back, you'll find our setting is there. What else haven't we talked about? What else haven't we talked about? We have talked about the caption, auto number data type. We have also talked about, okay, ensure the employee name does not exceed the 8 letters. So we come back to our design view of the table. Under employee name, the data type we have said is a short text, but right now it is accepting up to 255 letters. So we don't want it to go beyond 8. So a maximum of 80 letters or 8 numbers. So I will just type here 8 like that. It means when I try typing a name which is beyond the 8 characters, will not accept. For example, let us try and see. So here we are having a, let me see, O, Wanga, Ki, P. But now you can see I'm left with IPI. So when I try to put the I, it is not accepting because it has reached the maximum character accepted. So even if I try to add more, will not be accepted. So that's the use of the field size. So for that case, we needed the query. You can see Maliri default values, our ID automatically generated. Sex, we said we created a list of male and female. So Olo is a male, I can select from there. Aquare is a female, I can select from there. What else? Now this telephone number here, we said we are having so you can see the dash is appearing there automatically. Then the salary is supposed to be 195. Now, what about if I enter what's below 190? Because remember, we have validated it not to allow. Oh, we didn't. Let me first do that. Under design view, currency, we are also supposed to validate it. We are supposed to validate it not to accept what is below 190. Let me see here. Validate validate the salary field to accept only figures above that. So under validation rule, the expression that you type here is what will be accepted. For example, if you type here less than 170, it means the values accepted there will be from 0 up to what is close to 170. What is beyond 170 will not be accepted. So here for this case, we want only it to accept what is beyond the 190. So I will just say greater 190,000. So it means if I enter value less than 190,000, it will not accept. So we have said validation rule moves together with the validation text, the error message that will be displayed in case the rule is violated. So here they have said make sure that that text is this amount is not valid. So we also type it there. Save the changes and we test it. So let's test it and we see. Now, if I try to enter here, okay, let me first go back. There's something small again. Under this one still, our default value is 0. I don't want it to have a default value. I will remove it. Good. So let me try to enter here what is below 190. For example, 100,000, like that. Then I try to go to the next. It is now telling me the amount is not valid or the amount is invalid. Why? Because we have defined there that it must only accept what's greater than 190. So I must first correct it, and I see this 195,000. Good. So that's how the validation rule and the validation text work. What else haven't we looked at? Let me see here. So we have looked at field size, format, input mask, caption, default value, validation rule, validation text required. Yeah, I also want to look at text align. For example, if I want a sex to be aligned to the middle, left, center, so let me try to set it to center. Save the changes and we see what has happened. So you can now see my sex is aligned at the center. Let me see what's missing. Create a table, we are done. Use appropriate data type, set a primary key, ensure the employee name does not exceed, date should be this. Add the caption on it, we are done. Use input mask, we did. Format salary to have currency symbol that. Add the calculate. So I'm adding calculated field called the new salary. So I'm going to add that. So how do we add the field here? We must go back to the design view. Then we have the field name there, new salary, and I've told that it is a calculated field. So that field must be calculated automatically. So under the data type, we are going to use calculated. So it will give us the expression builder here where we type our expression, and I have said 110%. So it will be now 110 out of 100. Database does not recognize the percentage symbol. Of means multiplication, then the salary. You come and just double click on the salary, and that's the expression. Then okay. So when we try to run this, save the changes and go back to your final table, you can see new salary field created, and it is here calculated automatically. So you can try and get your calculator and do that. But still under that, we are saying format the field with this currency symbol. For example, we want that field to be like this. Like now, if you have 5,000, so it will be 5,000 with this currency symbol appearing there. So how would we do that? So for us to do that, we also need to go back to the design view of this table. Then remember, we have used our data type as this. Now we come to format here and we give it the look. So format, remember we said what is going to appear consistently, we must put it in quotes. Now this time it is that symbol to appear consistently, but we are going to make it be at the end. So therefore, for this case, we shall begin with 1000 separator like that. Then our currency symbol, like that. So if I wanted this one to be at the beginning, you just interchange the arrangement. Okay, so when we save the changes and we go to, you can see how our currency symbol is appearing. Then what else is left? Lookup wizard, we have used it. Validation, we have used it. So use your table to enter or populate the data above, meaning that we use our table to enter this data. So where that one you can pause the video and you continue with it. So thank you so much, everyone. That's all about this video for today. Let's meet